I thought I'd bring you to the riverbank today to introduce you to a little bird that we do get here, although I've never been fast enough to get it on photograph or in a video. It's called the kingfisher, and it's called that because it's absolutely brilliant at fishing. It uses its long dagger-like beak to dive down and pierce its prey. Now it's the beak of the little kingfisher that inspired the Japanese bullet train, and that's known as biomimicry, when nature inspires something in the technological world or engineering world. The diet of the kingfisher is mainly things that it would find in the river itself, so sticklebacks, little minnows, tadpoles, dragonfly nymphs, water beetles. And the nests that they build are quite cool. They're not nests as we know, they're actually burrows in the bankings, the same way as the sand martins make. But these ones go quite a long way back. They've got a small dent in the middle in their nesting chamber, and the little dip or dent prevents their precious eggs from coming out of the nest and rolling and getting damaged. There are 87 different species of kingfishers, including the kookaburra from Australia, although in Europe here we only have one. We've already discussed the beak of the kingfisher and how it helps to catch its prey. But what I should have mentioned is it's actually aerodynamically efficient, and that allows maximum speed and minimum splash while it's hunting. Spending time beside the river can often allow you to see things that you never expected. Have a look. Can you see the mother duck with her ducklings? While we've been down learning about the kingfisher, it became apparent just how many wildflowers have come out since the rain's been. And I thought you might like to help me pick some flowers to then try a Victorian craft. Come on. So as I say, we're going to pick some flowers and I'm going to pop them in my little bucket here. Then we're going to head back up to the farmyard. We're going to have a go at the Victorian craft of flower pressing. I'm not going to take very many because we're only planning on making a little bookmark. So I've got my little bunch of flowers in my bucket and we're going to go up and have a go at pressing them now. Come on! So we've come back to the shed and I'm going to show you how to press flowers. This is a flower press I've had since I was wee, and you don't need to worry. If you don't have a flower press, you can put a sheet of paper inside a big heavy book, lay your flowers on, cover over with another piece of paper and shut the book. Works just as well. Anyway, what we've got to do is take these 4 little butterfly clips off. I'll just get on with that just now. So what we've got inside the flower press, now that we've taken the lid off, are some sheets of cardboard and some sheets of cartridge paper. And what we need to do is we need to take the flowers that we have collected, lay them on the cartridge paper. Not too many at a time, making sure they're not overlapping, and then we put a second sheet of paper over the top, then our sheet of cardboard. We're building up layers, do you see? And we put our next piece of cartridge paper on. Here's a piece of clover from before, and we lay on our next flowers and leaves. There we go. Add on our cartridge paper and we build it up until we've filled up our flower press. Next job is, once we've got the wooden top part, we add on the little butterfly clips again. Add in all 4, make sure they're nicely even, and then it's just a patience. You need to leave this for at least a week, and when you open it up you'll have fully pressed flowers, just like the Victorians did, to make a nice pretty bookmark or picture. Now that we've finished pressing our flowers and we've learned a new Victorian craft, it's began to make me wonder about the other things that we might find around the farmyard that have changed and developed over the years. So I think we should go and ask Farmer William if he could show us some of them. Come on.
Hi kids, how you doing? This is my log pile, or some of my logs anyway, for heating the farmhouse, and we cut them usually with a chainsaw. Now if you were to go back in time, maybe 100 years, what they would have used was one of these, which is a two-man saw. These were really hard to work. You'd have a sore day cutting your wood for your fire. And what they would do, there'd be one man where I am and another one holding on to that handle there, and it's a case of they would pull, I would pull, they would pull, I would pull, and you do that to cut every single log. I just thought while we're here at the log pile, I'd show you another thing that's changed. This is a modern day drill. This is a cordless one. As you can see, quite easy to drill a hole. Now, what they would have used back at the start of the last century, perhaps, right up into this century, they'd have used one of these, which is a hand-turned wood auger. And this is quite a big one, but this would take quite a lot of time and effort. Hi kids, how you doing? I thought I'd show you something else that we use, or used to use on the farm quite a lot. We still use them odd times on occasion. And what these are sheep shears. And these are for clipping the sheep to get its fleece off. And I'll show you a bit just here with the help of my glamorous assistant Sylvia, who's been very accommodating. Now I can only do a small bit because it's the wrong time of year just now to be shearing them. It's a bit early, but this is how it would go. And there you go, you get the general idea. Also, while we're here, I thought I'd show you this too. This is called a branding iron. And what we used to do, we'd heat this up in a hot fire. This doesn't do any harm or cause any pain to the sheep because it's a piece of dead horn that you're using it on. And what we would do, we'd heat this up in the fire. This is a number 4, but there was all different types. There was also initials as well on them. And what we would do, we'd heat it up in the fire, press it onto the horn, and that would leave the number. Now we don't use these anymore, but what I will do in a moment, I've got an old piece of horn round there. I'll heat it up and I'll show you exactly how it worked. What we use now to identify them though are these tags. And these have a flock number on them, an ID number, and this one is a magnetic recognition tag as well. And that will show up on a magnetic reader. Hi there, how you doing? This is the branding iron I was talking about. Now I'm heating it up with a blowtorch. What you'd have done traditionally was you'd have heated it with a brazier full of hot coals, but that's a lot of bother to go to just to show you this. So here we go, I'll put it on the horn and you press it into the horn. Like I said before, the sheep wouldn't feel this, and then once that had cooled a wee bit, you give it a rub, and there is a perfect number 4. And that's what you'd use for identification on the sheep. All different numbers or symbols, depending on the farm. Hi kids, how you doing? Now that looked quite effortless, didn't it? Cutting the grass with the strimmer. Now, what they used to use was a thing called a hook, or a sickle, or in Old Scots, a hjuck. And this is what you would do to cut your weeds. They also used it to cut their crops, stuff like that. So what they would do was they would have to do this all day. Now that actually looked easier than it was, but you imagine doing that all day on a hot summer's day, you'd be pretty tired.